Welcome to Elbow Deep Workshop, and I'm going to give you guys a tour of how it gets down over here. Alright, so first I just want to say that this is a pool table and normally functions as a pool table. Usually covered, I don't play often. Anyway, this is the gang. They're all kind of laid out because I was doing some recording, and I'll kind of show you that back wall there here in a moment. But you got Sydney, Saul, Hector, Dustin, Oli, Artie, Ronnie Blue Cheese, of course, in the house with the bling. Wally, what's up, buddy? Again, I mentioned Artie. And then we got Zed, old Staff Sergeant Zed McGillicuddy, the grumpy old vet. And I think I mentioned the doc, yeah? And then if I'll hold this up here and move this way, you'll see that I've got some lights set there for a green screen. I've just got it tacked up there. It's a really good wall for it, just a big empty wall. So I set that up there. Got my lights all set. You can see I just got that clipped onto the little knobby of the ceiling light for an overhead light so that it actually translates to the green screen. Anyway, like I said, normally all these little guys are in the workshop that's behind me, which I'll show you next after I show you a few more puppets. And again, I should apologize, which normally functions as a foosball table is holding puppets, because again, they're normally in the room, but because I'm working today, both with video and building, I've got them laid out. So the green fella on the end there, that's Hector. Excuse me, not Hector. The green fella on the end there is Carlos. Sorry, Carlos. Followed by that, Hamilton Himalaya, the abominable Broman. Candace Cotton. Right here we got Balthazar Yeti. And the big bad wolf I call Bigby. Hello, Bigby. Give us a paw. Old Bigby. And more puppets. Here's, you guys know Maria, Conchita, Horchata. She's looking hot, holding up the windowsill there. And then we got Jamal Jamarcus Jabbar hanging out in the corner there. All dressed super fly, all Nike. Total stud muffin. Kind of looks like Russell Wilson. That's not a racist comment, it's just a fact. This right here is Sheriff Wild Burp. Wild Burp, he's sheriff around these here parts. You can see he's got his 6 gun on his hip. His iron, as he would call it. And then right here, my newest, latest, and greatest, most recently finished puppet, Joker, who will be featured in some stuff coming up here soon. And so I'll give you guys kind of a tour of some of the other stuff here in the workshop. So this is my workstation. That's where I have my sewing machine, which, although that's a small table, don't let that fool you. That's a full-size sewing machine. And I use that for my felt, except for what I hand stitch. Like the hands, things that are more tedious, I prefer to stitch those by hand in a really nice, close, tight stitch. And I can kind of make it so it's more pliable for me to fit in the foam pieces of the hands, which are 2 pieces here. And then you take your rod and you have your wires and you spread them out and put them all together, and maybe I'll do a video on that and show how that's all completed. But that's how you make the fingers opposable so they can do fun things. Anyway, gotta have my tackling fuel, so that's always on hand when I'm in the workshop, or usually on hand. Doing something new with the eyes. Generally they have the big bulging eyes. I'm doing something a little bit different. I repurposed some of these little spin maze things that have the little ball in them, and I put a hole in there and mazed the ball through to the hole, cleared it out so it doesn't rattle. I'm going to paint that up, and that's going to be kind of a new eye style that I'm going to try for one of these two new puppets. And I think since Uncle Finger Puppet is going to have glasses, he'll probably be the first one. Uncle Finger Puppet is kind of like the Colonel in Boogie Nights. He's like the founder of everything. He bankrolls. He's the producer of all the videos and everything. That's kind of what his character is. And then we got the King of Elbowville, or the Ding-a-Ling King. Not anything to do with those parts, just because he's not too bright. He's a real ding-a-ling. So everybody calls him the Ding-a-Ling King. Anyway, those are the two. As you can see, there's the crown right there that I repurposed from work. Thanks, work. Rest in peace, royalty. And got my paints, some of my paints over there. Nice acrylic paints that I use for different things like teeth, and got my tapes, and my Gorilla Glue, my X-Acto, my little battery-powered drill, which is a lifesaver, another really sharp razor knife that I use, pliers, markers, a little sketch pad boogie board thing that you clear out that I bought with my own money, in case anybody from work's watching. And anyhow, so yeah, over here you can see I've got all my thread, I've got some tape, I got some tacks that I use for pupils and things like that, extra batteries for my drill, extra glue, which I always have on hand, hair gel, that's funny, that's Elmer's glue, rubber cement for the foam work, which I'll show you in a moment, different types of spray paint, spray adhesives. I like the matte black, and then I have red for their tongues, and then just some extra tape and odds and ends. In this first drawer I keep my patterns, a couple of my major patterns, really silly, I haven't converted them over, but they're still made out of paper towels when I was just screwing around trying to figure out how to make the perfect pattern. Here's just a hair template, arm template. These are just little extra samples of hair or fur for hair. I have gray, which I'm going to use for the king, I think. This is definitely for Uncle Finger Puppet, because he's going to have kind of the tortoiseshell hair. Extra felt scraps in many different colors: yellow, maroon, ocean blue, turquoise, orange. I got some pretty good ones, some tan ones, some green ones, as you can see. So it gives me lots of different options for things I like to do. You see a big old pile of fur there. We'll get there. We'll get there. This is like, let me turn on the light here. Alright. This here is just odds and ends, but mostly just markers. My little saw that I use for the handles for the arm rods. Some surgical gloves for when I'm painting and I have to go to work and I don't want to have to worry about having paint all over myself. Some pipe cleaners. But the coolest thing that I have in here, and you can kind of see these are the feeders for them here, is my 3D pen. It's pretty awesome, guys. If you have one, share some ideas. If you don't have one, maybe go get one. They're not too expensive these days for the fun little toy versions like that. That's by no means a real fancy one. These are just like Easter eggs, ping pong balls, things that I repurpose. Those little bushings right there for wire protectors for studs. I use those to attach arms and legs. And down here is just more scrap fabric, extra pieces from other puppets that I have that I can use for different things. Here I have my foam that I use for their heads, and then I have my fur. This will be this blue one here will be the skin for the king. This green here was the green for the puppet I made for my sister. Then I just have some extra fur, and I have some animal print down there, but I'm going to kind of keep that one hidden because that's something that's coming in the future that I'm working on. kind of keeping a secret on that one. Alright, so I hope you really enjoyed the tour of the workshop. I mean, it was kind of brief. It's not a big, expansive area, but you gotta start somewhere, right? So thanks for checking it out, and stay tuned for some new videos coming out. Probably, hopefully, within a week. I always say a week, and then it's like a month, but I just get so caught up in building that I don't really do a whole lot of performing as I should, I guess, or practicing performing. Yeah, that's a better way to put it. But anyway, thanks again, and thanks for supporting the channel.
I don't give a good gosh darn about your feelings. Mash that bell down there, like and subscribe. Then you can share your feelings in the comment. Millennial piece of